Brought to you by 1AAuto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet.
Hi, I'm Mike from 1AAuto. I hope this how-to video helps you out. And next time you need parts for your vehicle, think of 1AAuto.com. Thanks.
In this video, we show you how to replace the fuel filler neck on this 2002 Ford Escape, same as any 2001 to 2007. Oftentimes these filler necks rust out in both these Escapes and Mariners, causing a check engine light to go on, which usually says that you need to check the fuel cap or the vapor recovery system has an issue. Tools you'll need are a jack and jack stand, 6, 7, and 8 millimeter sockets with a ratchet, pliers, flat blade screwdriver, and some oil or lubricant to help you put the thing back together. Okay, you want to start out by jacking your vehicle up. This just gives you some clearance between the wheel and the wheel well. And then right in behind that plastic shield, you'll see a clamp. You can use a 6 millimeter socket and ratchet or a screwdriver. And then there's a pinch clamp that you use a pair of pliers on the smaller hose there. So here I'm using a 6 millimeter socket with a ratchet to loosen up that hose, that clamp on the larger hose. And once you get it loosened up, just kind of slide it down the hose a little ways. And here I'm using a pair of pliers. You want to pinch that clamp and then slide it up the tube. And once you get it loose, slide it a little ways up the hard part of the tube. Okay, and I'll fast forward. Just work the screwdriver in there in about 3 or 4 different places, and then just use some strength and twist the hose, get it to break the seal apart, then pull it down and off, and then do the same thing for the smaller hose.
There is a 8 millimeter bolt right here, kind of near the top of the tire, that holds a bracket.
And again, we'll fast forward a little bit as we remove that 8 millimeter bolt.
Open up your fuel door, take your gas cap off, and there are 2 7 millimeter bolts to remove.
Okay, and again, I'm going to speed it up as I remove those 2 7 millimeter bolts.
Kind of pry up on this housing, pull it right off. Okay, so here's my old one out, and actually judging by the look of this thing, it was probably just replaced not too long ago because there's not a speck of rust on it, and usually these things rust out pretty bad. So I am just going to reinstall my original one. If you were putting a new one on, you would want to take this and punch the center of these rivets out with a small sharp punch, drill the rivets out, and take the shield off, and then use some small nuts and bolts and put it onto the new one. You don't have to put the shield back on. It does help protect it. It actually is designed to reduce noise of rocks and things hitting the fuel filler neck. So you could put a new one out there without putting the shield on, but do recommend putting the shield on. And that is how you do it. You just punch these out, drill them out, and then re-bolt them to the new one. But I'm just gonna, like I said, this one's in great shape, so I'm gonna reinstall it. And reinstallation is just really a reverse. Put it in place. You want to just twist it so that you can see the threaded holes where the bolts go in. Put your collar back in place. Get that lined up on the holes as well. And then I'm just going to start one of my bolts in here, and then start the other one in, and just tighten them up a little bit just to kind of hold it all in place.
Okay, so I'll speed it up here as I just, like I said, start those bolts in and then tighten them up a little bit. And once you have the top started, then put the 8mm bolt back in the bottom bracket that's right next to the top of the tire. And then you can tighten that bolt up And then once that bolt's tight, you can go back up to the top and tighten the 2 bolts that hold the filler neck at the top.
To recap these tubes, most likely your little pinch clamp probably fell off. Go in, put it on the smaller tube. Okay. And if you want, put a little bit of oil or penetrating oil or something onto the tube itself. That helps to get the hose back on easier. Force the hose right on. Okay, the lower one, bring it down. Make sure your clamp is on the hose. Okay.
And I'll fast forward from here on out. It's a matter of sliding that clamp back up in place, using your 6mm socket and ratchet to tighten it up, and then using your pliers to get the pinch clamp back in place for the smaller breather hose. We hope this helps you out. Brought to you by www.1aauto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet. Please feel free to call us toll-free 888-844-3393. We're the company that's here for you on the internet and in person.